Hello, everybody! I'm here with another collector's edition unboxing of a strategy guide, and yes, this is another strategy guide that is only a collector's edition. So there's really nothing to compare or really why to ask why should I buy because well, there's only one option. But I am going to say, but still, the collector's editions, or the hardcover editions, I guess I should say, are generally a little more expensive than the traditional paperback. So why pick this up over anything else? Well, I've outlined several times of why a print strategy guide is always preferable to an online guide, even though they are free. But since I've already finished Quantum Break, I've actually played through it a couple of times now, so I can see the different endings. I have a lot of questions about this one, and then of course I am going to play it again to see how accurate it is with the collectibles and other things. So let's go on ahead and crack this thing open. Gosh, it's so pretty. I mean, yes, Shawn Ashmore is pretty, but I mean, just like the broken fragments of time with the overlays of some of the actors, it is quite stunning indeed. All right, so it's open, and yes, pray tell I have a cold, so it's not one thing, it's another, from stomach flu to head cold. So joys of winter and spring. Okay, of course here we got the e-guide flyer, which will be a handy little bookmark. It's a very, very nice strategy guide. I mean, let's open this up. Look at that cover. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Alright, so this is actually called The Secret History of Time Travel. I guess it's a little fancier name than a strategy guide. So let's see what we got. We got a little forward of Sam Lake, and he's standing there with Shawn Ashmore. Or I keep calling him Bobby Drake. And there's Sam Lake again, or Max Payne. So, man, look at how bad those graphics are. And blowing up is not pretty. But, alright, so. Man, so it's like a history of Remedy, it looks like. Well, it's called the Remedy retrospective. So here we got like kind of a little bit of a history of Remedy Entertainment from, Max Payne. And I'm going to assume that we're going to go to, yes, Alan Wake. Which in the game there was a lot of Alan Wake mentions. Like, he would come across, like, I think I was running this one office building and froze time, and I came across this one woman who was playing Alan Wake at work. And then there's a chalkboard that was covered in Alan Wake conspiracy theories, which was kind of funny. Alright, so this is all Alan Wake. He also kind of looks like Sam Lake a little bit. I never played Alan Wake. Alright. So, part 2, Before Quantum. Let's see what this is. Oh, this is about Remedy, what they were doing. Not background story. So, like, if you're really into, what Remedy's been up to and what's been going on, how they came up with this idea, where they wanted to go to. Anyone look at some pretty, well, not that, but some pretty awesome concept art. I mean, it's pretty neat. Oh, wow. Look at that. This is Quantum Break, but it's definitely not Shawn Ashmore. And the weird thing is, I remember when I was looking at some of the final trailers, I was like, I don't remember Bobby Drake, Iceman from X-Men. I don't remember Bobby Drake being in those trailers. I totally would have remembered that. Well, it's because they had Sam Lake, it looks like, or a version of Sam Lake in there. Okay, so then part 3, Quantum Break. Man, this is like a huge history. It's like huge history, some more gorgeous art. Alright. Okay, like, when are we going to get into the... Wow. Is this all history? Okay, yes, it's all kind of history and information. Okay, I guess it kind of goes into the philosophies behind the time, so that's interesting with the whole thing. If you play the game, you know what closed loops are, because they talk about that all the freaking time. I guess, okay, there's definition what the fracture is, which is kind of important. About chronon technology, that's also important. Okay, then I got more concept art. Now we're going to talk into how they took the actors and did the mocap transformation. Okay, I'm getting bored. Now we're going to go through step by step with characters. Okay, I feel like this is stretching. This is like a combination art book and strategy guide. So, and I love art books, but this is more what I would expect in an art book, this kind of stuff, instead of in a strategy guide. Okay, Beth Walter, yes. Okay. All right. Again, stuff I expect in a art book, sort of. I mean, this is kind of going into characters. Okay, yes, he was never in the game. He was just in the TV episodes. All right, here we go. Finally got to the strategy guide portion. Dear Lord. Okay. So here, at the very beginning, this is very important. So right here, it actually has like, oh, can you see it? There it is. All the different collectibles that are here. So they're all listed there, so at least I know I don't look for any chronon sources or intel or quantum ripples. Which I did find all those on my own by accident, but let's see. Let's see if it actually has... So then like over here, not sure why they have this split up except for color difference, but at least like at the bottom they actually have like the collectibles. Because I am missing a whole bunch of collectibles, which is pretty much what I'm hoping to get out of the strategy guide, is that I'm able to get all the collectibles. Okay, so they got all this optional interactions. But do they mean anything? I guess, but they're not quantum ripples, so I guess it doesn't mean anything. Alright, so I guess that's not all there is to it. I mean, it is pretty straightforward. I guess suppose I am also curious if this gives you tips for the harder difficulties, because this is probably one of the first games I've played in I think ever where the difficulty is set by more than just damage taken and damage given. It's also has to do with how fast the enemies move, the special attacks they do, how often, how many they throw out at you, and it actually affects your magazine clip size, which is all very important because the reload times are incredibly slow on this. And I think they do that on purpose to get you to move quickly, get you to use your time powers, move quickly, and all that. So I'm hoping that it'll have some tips for some of the firefights. I mean, granted, there's not a whole lot of firefights, but I'm hoping that they will give some tips for some of the firefights. I'm not seeing any. Let's check on the higher difficulties. I really want to know what they say about the ending, because the ending is a bitch. My God, that final boss is just... It's like, you know, you do so well, and then you get that, it's like, okay, where did this... It's like the difficulty spike just goes straight up. And like, I didn't even see this coming. Alright, so it looks like it's... Okay, yeah, I mean, it does kind of... Alright, if they do give some tips in here, a little bit, in these little things. See how useful they are. I don't know how long I'll play on hard, because I really didn't like it. Although it does, at least for here, because this was a mini-boss fight, it actually does give a lot of good tips for how to get past him the first time, because that took me 2 to 3 times, maybe? Oh, and it also gives you tips on, you can't see because I don't want to show, but it does give tips right here. You have to trust me on this, that it's on how to solve certain time puzzles. Because there was some like, I don't know what to use, and I would guess, and then die, and then try again, and then... Alright, so... Alright, let's see what else we got. Okay, I really want to find all the chronon sources, because I wasn't able to level up. Okay, so we got the collectibles, but what about leveling him up? Because that's all really important. So... Now we get to the optional storytelling part, which I'm thinking is part of the quantum. It's part of the collectibles, which tells more of the story, plus the quantum ripples, which changes pieces of the TV episodes. Nothing huge, but a little bit. Yep, see? Yeah, yeah. Alright. But, what was I thinking? What does it have? Does it... Oh, does it list all the variations of the endings? That looks to be a no. Huh. So this is like a combination art book, behind the scenes. Okay. Yeah. All right, so all right, so it doesn't list like all the different options of how things can go. Like if you decide this, it'll do this. Hold on a minute. Let's see. Put it at 2. Junction decision. Nope, it doesn't. All right, so it doesn't. This one is early on when you do a junction decision, and it doesn't show like the paths are. Like I understand maybe it doesn't want to show it there, but maybe create a timeline to show like you choose this and this happens, and if you do this and this happens, or if you like just paths to get to all the different endings. I mean, you would kind of expect that for a strategy guide to have all of that. Especially if you want to be able to see them all eventually. And even if it's something minor, like, Mass Effect 3, there are very, very minor changes in the ending depending on what you've done, like resource-wise and upgrading and things like that. But they still listed, I think it was, 40? They still listed, or was it 8? I'm thinking of something else. There was a bunch. They still listed them all out to explain exactly what those little tweaks were. And this, like, I would expect the same thing, like, if the quantum ripples, this will happen, or this will happen, or if you decide this, this, and this is the ending. You decide this, this, and this is what happens. And it doesn't seem to... Something like in the back, like, the big spoiler warning or something. Because, I don't know, I think that's kind of important. Oh, I know what I was thinking. There's no... Let me get to Jack Joyce's. But there's no breakdown of the different powers. What they recommend. That's kind of a problem. Nope, there's no breakdown. Like, he gets all these different powers, and there's no recommendation of maybe, this is how you can level them up. Maybe this is what you should level up first. Maybe this is what you should level up second. There's, like, none of that. I don't even... What's really amazing to me is that, at least they don't call it a strategy guide. They do call it the secret history of time travel. That you see that the strategy guide part is at the very bottom. And there's no appendices. No list of collectibles. I'm kind of bummed. I mean, I love it. I would have bought it regardless because it's got all this cool concept art. I mean, so, all right. I guess in sum up, because I am going to actually do an official review of this later, just to show the accuracy of the strategy guide portion. Why should you buy? Well, if you're an art book fan, if you want to know more about Quantum Break, more about Remedy Entertainment, then yes, this is definitely the book that you need. If you're looking for a straight up strategy guide, then perhaps just the e-guide is going to be the way to go. Because, I mean, this is kind of like an all-in-one package. It's got, you got concept art, you got your Remedy history, you got everything about Quantum Break, you got the making of, a whole bunch of behind-the-scenes information, a bunch of background information on a lot of the concepts and people and places. But if you're looking for more details in the story, as in which decisions, which choices you should make to get your optimal ending, or just a different type of ending, or what different endings there are, or tips on how to upgrade or when to upgrade certain abilities, things like that, then unfortunately this is looking like right now not it. Now when I get more into it, maybe I'll have a little bit more, but as of now, this seems to be for the hardcore fan as of now. So that's my current thoughts. I should have a review actually on this very soon because, like I said, I've already finished the game. Unlike my other stuff for Twilight Princess, let's just not get to the Zelda games that I have to do right now. It's just not. No. Alright, so anyway, thank you guys so much for being here, and if you are playing Quantum Break, I hope you enjoy it. It has its problems, but I really enjoyed it. It's a great game. Read my review and action to it. See you guys next time.